Seismic charges. Stand by.
Hey guys, welcome to today's Legends Lore video. Today we will be discussing the planets with the highest rates of inflation within the Star Wars galaxy. Inflation occurs when prices of a range of goods and services rise on average. It means that money's buying power is decreasing. It occurs when demand for goods and services in the economy is outpacing supply. This leads to widespread shortages of labour and materials. There are various types of inflation too: demand pull inflation, cost push inflation, built-in inflation, and hyperinflation. Inflation can have some major consequences for society, such as reduced purchasing power, increased inequality, reduced lifetime savings, impact on government spending, and high unemployment. The Star Wars galaxy was no stranger to cycles of inflation, leaving many planets worse off economically than others. Let's break down the most high inflationary planets in the galaxy and to measure their inflationary rates. Ranking in at number 5, we have the planet of Naboo. Under the influence of the Dark Lord Darth Sidious, a Trade Federation blockade was imposed on the planet in protest of the Galactic Senate's taxation of trade routes. The blockade was intended to pressure the Naboo government and Queen Amidala into submission, and in the process essential goods and services was cut off, leading to supply chain disruption. Commodities like basic foods, fuels and medical supplies were restricted, causing prices of local goods to rise due to subsequent scarcity. Black market activity and currency devaluation would have also been present. This inflicted widespread starvation and suffering on the Naboo people and Gungans, because Gungans are people too, Padme, although I know you don't really care about anybody other than your own species, hence why you married a Tusken murdering lunatic. But anywho, Padme's concern for her people led to some major political posturing in the Galactic Senate to reduce those inflation rates. Influenced by Palpatine into thinking the bureaucrats were the true rulers of the Republic and on the payroll of the Trade Federation, Amidala moved for a vote of no confidence in the incumbent leader, Chancellor Valorum, and had him removed from power. Of course, we know what happened next. Darth Sidious grabbed a hold of the Senate, and this just goes to show the impacts of inflation on political and governmental stability. Naboo's annual inflation rate would have sat around 120%. It would have taken a very long time for Naboo's economy to recover. Next, ranking in at number 4 as the 4th most inflated planet in the Star Wars galaxy is none other than the planet of Lothal, located in the Outer Rim territories. During the early years of the Galactic Empire, Lothal was in a state of economic disrepair and invited the Empire to take over the planet's industries, with the promise of prosperity and security. For a short while, this interventionist economic strategy proved a success, but it didn't take long for the heavy Imperial occupation to ruin the planet's once pristine environment and abundant natural resources, which were almost entirely stripped bare. The relentless resource extraction at the hands of the Galactic Empire for their war production caused a major scarcity of goods and restricted trade. Further, with pollution so rife, fires scattered throughout the planet, causing disaster, leaving damage to vital infrastructure that would take years to rebuild and increase the planet's burgeoning national debt. Lothal's inflation rate would have sat annually around 135%. Next, ranking in at number 3 with the 3rd highest rates of inflation within the galaxy was the planet Ryloth in the Ryloth system of the Outer Rim territories, the homeworld of the Twi'lek species, and not only that, the homeworld of great economic and political instability. For centuries, the planet and its people were exploited by the Hutts and their criminal enterprises. It served as a key world for the spice trade, which utilized the Twi'lek residents as slave labor to produce goods. Later, it would fall under the control of the Zagarian slave empire before the Jedi Knights destroyed the regime. And for generations, the clans of Ryloth also fought each other in a series of civil wars. With a weak and almost non-existent centralized government, there was very little monetary stability, allowing a black market to take hold. Ryloth's annual inflationary rate would have sat around 147%. Next, ranking in at number 2, we have what might be of surprise, Coruscant. Known for its shimmery glass skyscrapers, premium real estate, exceptional transport and infrastructure, and employment opportunities, Coruscant was prone to inflation spikes during major transitions. After Chancellor Palpatine transformed the Galactic Republic into the Galactic Empire, there was massive military spending. Building Star Destroyers and the most ambitious infrastructure project in galactic history, the Death Star, led to excessive money creation as the Galactic Empire took on more debt to fund its ambitious plans. Very little policy direction was channeled towards a functioning social security and welfare system to meet the needs of its growing unemployment rates during this era, which led to a large underclass on the lowermost levels devoid of light and quality air. Furthermore, the Empire's favour towards those worlds and corporations most loyal to its cause significantly distorted local markets and harmed the principles of free trade competition. There became very little incentive to make a profit and take financial risk in what was a crony economy with little reward for genuine effort. Daxter's Diner comes to mind. Wikipedia states that by the time after the Galactic Empire's defeat in the Battle of Endor, Daxter's Diner was still defunct and abandoned, which leads me to believe it was one of the many businesses that suffered during high inflation. Annually, I would rate Coruscant's inflation rate during this time at 151%. Next. And lastly, the number one most highly inflated planet in the Star Wars galaxy goes to the sparsely inhabited circumbinary desert planet located in the galaxy's outer rim territories, Tatooine. The planet experienced a population explosion following the search for valuable mining deposits on the planet's silicate surface. However, finding the ore to have undesirable metallurgical properties, mining firms left the planet en masse, leaving a power vacuum for smugglers and criminals to fill. Enter the powerful Hutt clan. Price gouging and corruption became commonplace, with no central banking system or regulatory authority to promote a stable financial system whereby its citizens could get ahead. With its very extractive and exploitative economy, you were not immune from being commoditized yourself, as the likes of Shmi and this Twi'lek found out. Of course, this exploitative economy led to Shmi being killed, which ignited an intense fury within Anakin, which subsequently birthed the greatest political and economic transition period in galactic history, from the Republic to the Empire. But to be honest, with scarce natural resources and over-reliance on moisture farming and spice smuggling, things are bound to spiral. I would rate Tatooine's annual inflation rate at 171%. So there you have it, the top 5 most highly inflated planets in the Star Wars galaxy. Maybe you're better off investing those lifetime savings somewhere else, at least until their political leaders can improve economic productivity through investment in education, tax incentives and government subsidies, streamline regulations, infrastructure development and entrepreneurship. But anywho, thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for the next. And remember, be happy.
We lost the transmission, sir.